This is what confuses narcissists when their manipulation fails. Encountering a narcissist, especially over an extended period, reveals their keen focus on controlling both the person they're engaging with and the situation at large. They constantly seek leverage over both, and discomfort arises swiftly if they perceive a lack of control or leverage. This discomfort prompts them to either withdraw or intensify efforts to regain control. Most narcissists are wired to interact with those easily influenced by them, often lacking self-respect and self-worth. This presents a paradox for narcissists. While they prefer individuals with low self-worth, they also want to view them as valuable, a clash arising from the fact that low self-worth doesn't inherently signify high value. Narcissists struggle when faced with independent thinkers, disliking individuals who question things in a manner typical of healthy individuals. This tension is especially pronounced in relationships with narcissists, where abrupt actions like blocking or discarding may occur. Understanding the intricate dynamics of narcissistic behavior is paramount for those entangled in relationships with such individuals. Recognizing that these behaviors stem from a calculated strategy to test and manipulate your sense of self-worth allows for a more enlightened response. The perpetual struggle for narcissists lies in their desire to engage with easily controlled individuals who lack self-worth. Yet they also seek to find high value in these very individuals. Conflicts often arise when dealing with individuals who exhibit independent thinking. Narcissists find it challenging to cope with individuals who question things in a manner consistent with healthy, normal behavior. This aversion becomes particularly apparent for those who have experienced relationships with narcissists. For example, if a narcissist suddenly blocks, discards, or ghosts you, it serves various purposes. On one hand, they might be moving on to a new connection. However, more frequently, it functions as a test to gauge your self-worth. They seek to assert dominance by displaying behavior that a regular person would perceive as rude or inconsiderate. The sudden shift from kindness to abandonment can be deciphered by someone familiar with narcissism as typical narcissistic conduct. However, the challenge arises when a narcissist exits abruptly, expecting you to beg for their return, despite cutting off all means of communication. Narcissists often expect you to go to great lengths for them, like trying to visit in person if they can't be reached on social media, or using alternative forms of contact, such as email instead of the usual platforms. Their goal is to boost their ego and validate their self-worth. They anticipate you to plead, to take on a role where your self-worth and self-esteem are low, making you dependent on them. When you disrupt this expected behavior, it throws them off balance, like introducing chaos into a carefully orchestrated plan. Narcissists struggle when dealing with individuals who have strong self-respect, self-love, and self-worth. They are uncomfortable with those who cannot be easily manipulated into a needy state. Their usual interactions involve individuals who are more likely to submit, lacking self-respect and a sense of value. When you refuse to play the expected role, it disrupts their planned narrative. They have a script in mind with a specific direction, and your deviation from it becomes a disruptive force, forcing them to abandon their intended storyline. They may try to end the situation abruptly, wanting to make it fade away. However, this is often unrealistic, as real life doesn't always follow such scripted scenarios. Suddenly, the narcissist finds themselves caught in a narrative that wasn't meant for them. Narcissists aim for you to play a role, essentially becoming an actor in their drama, providing them with the affirmation they crave. However, convincing you to take on this role is often challenging for them. They cannot simply replace you with someone else, as their focus is firmly fixed on you. When their manipulative efforts fail, they turn to gaslighting and confusion, trying to shift the blame onto you. When their manipulative tactics are met with your resilience, they become isolated in their anger. They resort to their usual underhanded and abusive strategies, which in their view are not seen as deceitful or abusive, but rather as attempts to boost their self-esteem. Unfortunately, due to their narcissistic nature and lack of empathy, these actions are perceived as abuse on your part. To them, your resistance to their abusive behavior indicates a flaw in you. If their manipulations don't work, they attribute the failure to a fundamental flaw in you, especially when you refuse to succumb to a state of very low self-esteem, self-worth, and self-love. Narcissists are used to dominating their sources of supply, always staying one step ahead. Therefore, when their tactics fail, they struggle to navigate this unfamiliar territory. Thank you for watching.